Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today we're gonna go over some of the events today from this Epstein victims, I guess, press conference with their lawyers and Ro Khanna, Thomas Massey, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. But first, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. All of it is very much appreciated. Also, check out the Discord link. If you want to check out, join that, talk some shit, learn some stuff, teach some stuff, whatever, watch movies, music, all of it is welcome. All links, description box. All right, so before I do anything, I just want to play this clip from, I think it's MSNBC, or NBC, I guess. And they asked some questions to some of the victims and family of the victims. Here we go.
So can I get a show of hands? Who here is satisfied with the level of contact they've had from Congress? Nobody. Let me ask this. How about the Justice Department? I want to ask a couple of things about what you knew about things that were happening with this case that you're obviously involved with. Show of hands. Did any of you hear from the Justice Department before they released that memo, that 2-page memo earlier this summer? No hands. Were any of you told that Todd Blanche would be speaking with Ghislaine Maxwell prior to that interview over the course of 2 days?
No.
No. Were any of you told about the prison transfer that Ghislaine Maxwell?
No.
Do any of you feel that the DOJ has communicated with you enough this year?
No.
Have any of you had any communication with the DOJ?
No.
Nobody in this room has heard at all from the Department of Justice?
No.
Is that surprising to you?
No. No.
So can I get it?
So, yeah, that clip's fucking crazy. I know it's cut up, right? But that's still fucking crazy. These people claim to be doing investigations and looking for, documents and all this shit. And meanwhile, you didn't bother to look for, once again, I understand protecting victims of something. But if there's people that are willing to talk to you, why don't you, ask first, at least just a little bit? Ask them. Hey, do you want to talk about this at all? Is there any, extra information? But instead, Ghislaine Maxwell gets a several-hour fucking interview, which should happen too. It's just the way they did it was, to me, dog shit. I think they fed her questions. They fed her names. They didn't let her, testify so that if she's lying, she can get caught up in a lie. So all this thing has been a little circus, bro. Let's just be honest. This clip was just amazing to me. But then there's also the actual, this is not the press conference with Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey. I'm going to play the, I think he represents several victims, along with another lawyer, a lady. This is Brad Edwards. And we're going to listen to this. Here we go.
Unfortunately.
Forgive me. All the volumes are all janky. Forgive me. I'll turn it up a bit. Here we go.
All of the documents and evidence that we have worked so hard to gather hide behind protective orders, confidentiality agreements, and bank secrecy laws. That is why this discharge petition is so important. While we have seen the documents, you haven't. And when you see the documents, you're going to be appalled. And the American people deserve to see everything. When you sign this discharge petition, it should mean nothing is off limits. That means the documents in the possession of the CIA should be made available. Those in the possession of the FBI going back decades should be made available. The SEC, financial records in the possession of FinCEN should be made available. Everybody knows that evil flourishes in the darkness. Corruption flourishes in secrecy. It is time right now to make a difference for the women that are behind me right now. They have been courageous and fought through this whole thing. Whether you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, this one is an easy call. You're an American who cares about equal rights and equal protection under the law. If you care about these women, if you care about our country, and you care about this issue, this should pass with flying colors.
Now, when I was watching this earlier, when it ended off, I believe Massey said all you need is 2 more votes. Now it's a shit ton of Democrats and 6 or 4 Republicans supported this little petition, right? It's whoa, that's kind of crazy. But there might be a reason for that. Other than, they're little weirdos that want to protect Donald Trump. Maybe they're even afraid or worried or scared to say anything. As in, from Thomas Massey here, White House says helping me secure a vote to release all the Epstein files is a hostile act. They're threatening anyone who helps bring true transparency and justice for the survivors. This is a tacit admission. The Oversight Committee data release is woefully incomplete. I mean, like, what do you do with that? That means someone's going out of their way. You say, hey, don't go any further with this. Stop it here. I mean, as of recent days, we saw I'm sure you've probably seen some of the viral clips of, on one hand, you hear Pam Bondi saying, well, there was an error in the videotape, and as far as Jeffrey Epstein's cell footage, there's an error in the videotape, so it skips a minute. It's just, it's old technology. That's why it's happening. And then earlier, then like months after that, we see what? A release of that 1 minute. And it's like, well, wait a minute. That's a blatant lie. You're caught in a blatant lie. Blatantly caught. You hear Donald Trump saying hoax on one hand, and then actual victims of the crimes saying we want to talk, we have more information to give, or our information is being locked up behind, some sort of judicial legalese. We want a chance to like really tell our stories that everyone can hear, not just these closed courts. And I can't find a single fucking reason for why transparency isn't the way to go with this. Here's Thomas Massey adding more information to this. Here we go.
Now, the Speaker of the House just offered a fig leaf to my colleagues. They're going to vote on a non-binding resolution today that does absolutely nothing. I appreciate the efforts of my colleague James Comer, who's leading the Oversight Committee. They may find some information, but they're allowing the DOJ to curate all of the information that the DOJ is giving them. If you've looked at the pages they've released so far, they're heavily redacted. Some pages are entirely redacted. And 97% of this is already in the public domain. Now,
there you go. Another thing, like where, once again, there is no fucking reason, zero reason for them behaving like this at the Justice Department, and also obviously the Orange Penguin. Here we go.
This is a Democrat hoax that never ends. It reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied.
That's interesting that he says more and more and more. Like, wait a minute. You give some and hold back others, and then give more later? Maybe to get people to shut up? Is that your whole point? Is that your whole goal? We keep giving them more and more and more. Why don't you just give them the shit in the first place? Oh, because I don't think these guys want that shit out there. For whatever reason. I'm not even accusing anyone of anything. I'm just saying, for whatever reason, which means AKA there is no real good reason. There's no good reason for this. Whether it's JFK or Epstein or MLK. Why aren't you just doing a fucking dump? Full-on dump of the fucking shit that you have. And then, if the public asks for it, okay, we need to re-investigate all of this because people want answers for this stuff. Even if it's a fucking nothing burger. Do your due diligence. Like, you don't have to do it yourself, Trump, right? You have, like, workers and stuff and staff and people that could do this shit for you. But it feels like even those guys are holding back their reins. I just brought up Pam Bondi, right? Or the Todd Blanche interview. That's the deputy attorney general, where he interviewed Maxwell. It seems like the people working for you, Trump, are also pulling the reins back and giving us half measures. People ask for more, they drop a little bit more. Here's a little bit more. Meanwhile, claiming you gave it all away. Or that it's all child porn. We can't show you what's happening here. I mean, it's insulting. I'll let him keep talking, but it's insulting to your intelligence. And whoever's protecting this motherfucker, Alex Jones, Mr. Jones, yeah. I don't think he's stopping all this stuff because he's worried about he's worried about the stock market crashing. It's like, what? Excuse me? So wait, if the stock market, let's not saying everyone, but let's say like the big wigs that run Wall Street and all that stuff are caught in a fucking child sex trafficking ring, whether as participators, as far as like part of, like committing the crime, or clients that are committing their own version of a crime. I think people would want to know that. I think they might say, fuck the stock market. Fuck that shit. Hey, we got smart people. They can be replaced if they wanted to hold up the Wall Street apparatus. Not that I do, but I'm just saying. So, once again, there is no logical and there's no moral reason for why they're behaving the way they're behaving. And as I said before, openly lying. Openly lying. We don't have a minute. It's old technology. That minute is missing. Bad clocks, you know? The next couple months later. All right, we have that minute. Here it is. Like, what? It's a hoax. Then release it. We'll see that it's a hoax. No. That's what they're fucking doing. Good. Here we go. Here's more lying. Here we go.
From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president.
I just saw you recently bomb people in international water without telling the American people. Or sorry, you did, but after you bombed. And you did it through a fucking tweet or a Truth Social or some bullshit like that. You bombed Iran. You're still bombing Somalia. Gaza. Do I even need to like go into detail about Gaza? What's happening over there and his complicity in it? Do I actually have to do that? I'm sorry, you'd have to be a hardcore Alex Jones fan to fall for this bullshit. Or like QAnon or something like that. He's lying to you. Wake up, people. Here we go.
Even if you look at D.C. right now, D.C., it's a totally safe zone. It's called a safe zone. That's a term.
I forgot he put the military on the streets of America.
It's a safe zone because it's very safe. You can walk down the street now.
It's a safe zone because it's a safe zone. Thanks, man.
And nothing's going to happen. No crime, no murders, no nothing. Because we had a lot of problems with certain places, and we still do. All run by Democrats, or for the most part run by Democrats. So what they're trying to do with the Epstein hoax is get people to talk about that instead of speaking about the tremendous success like ending 7 wars. I ended 7 wars.
He didn't end 7 wars. Like, as he's starting wars, he's like, I'm ending wars. You didn't end 7 wars, you fucking idiot. We're still doing operations in Iraq and Afghanistan, you dummy. You fucking liar. I'm done with this. Done. Sorry, Trump derangement syndrome. Okay. Now, notice, you'll see the little banner here, right? President Trump meets with the president of Poland. Why is that important? Well, check this out. This is in the middle of one of the victims speaking, by the way. Here we go. Or, yeah, I think 2 were talking, but this is the main one talking. Here we go.
I was horrified when I found out not only had Epstein Maxwell been transferred to what's called a low security. It's really is like a holiday camp, and then afterwards I got a notification from the Department of Justice telling me that this was going to happen when it had already happened. This woman abused children.
Now, you might be asking yourself, what the fuck is that? Remember that president of Poland? F-16 and F-35 jets fly over the White House to pay tribute to a fallen Polish fighter pilot. I mean, that timing is immaculate. I mean, that is immaculate timing. Now, on its own, I might be, even me, I have a very conspiratorial mind, trust me. But even me might be like, well, maybe it's just a coincidence. They're already going to schedule to meet. They already planned to have these jets fly over. It just happened to, maybe Massey and Ro Khanna didn't know, and thus they crossed over time with each other. Like, a fuck up, right? By accident. But then I saw this tweet come out from the White House, and my conspiracy blinkers definitely went off. A picture of jets flying over the White House and over the area. Sound of freedom overhead. Now, I can't say I know that these are even the same event, or I can't say I know, but I thought it was interesting that I just saw this. I'm like, wait a minute, did you? But hold on. It's but there, like that movie, right? There's a movie called Sound of Freedom, isn't there? About like trafficking children, right? And Sound of Freedom overhead. And there was jets flying over twice, by the way, during this press conference when some of the victims were talking. I mean, it absolutely like just shut down what they were saying and just stopped them mid-sentence because it's so fucking loud. I'm like, no way, right? You in the comments, please tell me, am I reaching with this one? I mean, the fucking movie Sound of Freedom. Let me just in case. Right, with Jim Caviezel, right? We've all heard of this movie, right? Right, we've heard of this, right? Sound of Freedom, all this shit, right? I mean, sorry, but it makes me wonder. It does. And just my volume real fast. Okay, let's move on to, for me, the last strange event. And trust me, this is the sweatiest one. This is the sweatiest event of them all. Here's Michael Tracey saying, well, they just threw me out for asking the only legitimate question at the Epstein press conference. Figures. Now, you're not going to be able to hear the question, right? Even Ro Khanna responded to him. He's like, Ro Khanna's like, I answered your question. Do you agree on the release of the Epstein files? Yes, I've long been 100% in favor of maximum disclosure of any and all Epstein-related files in the government's possession. But also, more testimony that we don't get to hear, right? Like, they should be okay to continue doing more interviews and stuff, right? Oh my god, I'm not reading this. I'm not reading sweaty Michael Tracey's fucking shit. But like, victims that maybe never had the chance to speak in court, or maybe they want to say it maybe with a more mature, more composed sense of saying it. Maybe they want to do that. Maybe they want it on public, like in the public where everyone can see them testifying, on and so forth. All right. But sweaty Michael Tracey. Here's him getting kicked out, by the way. There you go. Okay. But there was him getting kicked out. And by the way, I wasn't live. I was watching like the DVR rewinded or whatever and listened to it. And I couldn't hear it, even with me. I put the fucking microphone, or sorry, the speaker of my phone up to like right inside my fucking earlobe. I'm like trying to hear. I can't hear the question too well. It's very muffled. But I can hear the tone of voice. I'm like, that's fucking Michael Tracey. That's 100% Michael Tracey. Like, who is this fool? And they kicked him out like immediately. It's fucking hilarious. Let me see if I can have that. There it is.
You represented Virginia Roberts for 3 years.
Once again, you can barely hear him. The audio is so bad. But you'll see the girls, like the victims or the lawyers. Maybe Brad Edwards doesn't know him, or Rokana maybe, I don't know. But the victims definitely knew who the fuck that was, and they're like, "Yo, get that guy out of here." But here we go.
But, yep.
Yeah, so you represented Virginia Roberts for 3 years. She eventually had to recant the allegations that she made against Alan Dershowitz. She alleged that
We're not talking. All right, next question. Next question. Thank you.
They're like, "Who's this sweaty guy out there?" Yes, these questions.
Who's next?
Why is it that she should be
Yeah, no, we're not answering your question. Anybody else?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And I believe Rokana answers the question. I don't know if. Yeah, right here.
Let the American public decide. Instead of harassing, instead of, I gave you your say.
made up egregious
Look,
allegations
look.
against a prominent individual, among others. She
You're
wrote a
hired by
memoir
Dershowitz.
and then had to admit to
But,
other counsel.
you know, even
memoir, he knows what I'm talking about. That contained
You-
hugely salacious allegations against a whole.
you've been
bunch of
heard.
individuals.
You've been heard.
Shouldn't you tell the public about this?
You've been heard. And even Alan Dershowitz says release the files. Release the files. That is the answer, and that's what we're here for. And that is the.
Can you elaborate on the
Funny, Rokana had to fix the fro, bro. He had to pat down the fro. Look at that.
Yeah. You said that Donald Trump gave you.
So yeah, they're aware of who Michael Tracey, because he's probably been trying to call these people or whatever the fuck, trying to ask them questions about Virginia Giuffre, who passed away already. Like, I don't know. To me, Michael's just a sweaty weirdo, but like it's. Here's the thing: questions are not a problem to me, of anyone. If you say something, someone should be able to ask you a question about it for sure. But as people who watch this channel know, I've gone through several like couple hour long debates or interviews or videos that Michael uploads where it's him talking about this stuff, and it's like, dude, you're like crazed about it. You have like an obsession about it or something. It's like very weird. I can't even tell you the reason why. I'm not gonna leap to, he's on the Epstein list. I don't even know if that would make sense. I'm just saying, like, but he is acting like a weirdo about it. Like, very, like, vigilant about it. I'm like, holy Christ, dude. I don't know. If this was, like, some random guy, I'd be like, all right. But I've heard Michael's stuff. I wouldn't have kicked him out, but I'm saying I've heard Michael's stuff. I assume these ladies and some of the lawyers have heard Michael's stuff. And they're like, yeah, get that guy the fuck out of here. Get rid of him. And it's like, yeah, Michael, you read the room, my man. But last but not least of the clips I'm going to play here, it's Michael confronting Ian Carroll, who I also think is a dummy, too. I think he's a dumbass, too. But people like him, but I have my own problems with Ian Carroll, but this might not be one of them. I'm going to adjust the volume real fast. There we go. And now I'm going to hit play. Here we go.
Actual blackmail information about to break on RFK Jr. I personally despise RFK Jr. I'm the last one to run away from anything that could possibly be critiqued about RFK Jr. He's one of my least favorite people probably on earth. However, you know what I wouldn't do?
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Actually, that does say a lot about you. Not to say that RFK Jr. is some good person. It's like, you don't fucking know the guy. Like, all the shit I talk about Trump and call him a devil worshiper, I don't hate the fucking guy. I don't know him as, like, his personality and all that shit. All I see is someone moving without a conscience. That's all I say. That doesn't make me hate them. There's always more context to a human being. But Michael, I guess let's be real, he's saying this because he wants to, He's going to talk about what Ian's talked about, which you'll hear. We've covered this as well on this channel. Here we go.
He's one of my least favorite people probably on earth. However, you know what I wouldn't do? Well, you know what I wouldn't do? I wouldn't make up fake sexual blackmail stories about him, dump it out on social media, and then just ghost everyone when the story that I claim was imminent doesn't come out. But you think that's fine? I mean, that's your whole journalistic... I mean, you consider yourself a journalist?
Well, when you...
Is it all about being a journalist? Okay, that might be Michael's niche there. Here we go.
Construe it in your way that misrepresents
Construe it in the right way. Construe it in the correct way, please.
If someone wants to see how it's construed, they can go back and watch it. I have no problem with the way it was reported.
I unfortunately was subjected myself to watching
I'm actually quite proud of the way it was reported, and I got
Nothing was reported. Where's the sexual blackmail story? Where is it?
Yeah.
I'm mad I didn't get it.
Like, do you not have any self-awareness for how, like, you come across?
Read the room, Michael.
Not really. I don't care. I mean, if you perceive me in some way...
Why is this guy so sweaty, bro?
I perceive you as someone who has an agenda.
Holy fuck. Take the fucking coat off, bro. Oh, he's talking to Ian Carroll. Is that Ian Carroll?
Yes.
Little things in groups that
He almost looks more embarrassing.
ideologically how, like, you
come
come
on.
across.
Read the room, Michael.
Not really.
I'm
I
a
don't
beg
care. I mean,
recording,
if you
man.
perceive me in some way that you perceive to be deleterious, that's
I
probably
perceive you as someone who has an agenda.
What's my agenda?
To tear down people, to tear down this, to criticize little things in groups that we are against,
Okay.
ideologically.
And by the way, this is Dick Hernia, one of Michael's
Blackmail
friends.
information about...
I did not even hit play there. Whatever. Yeah, it's I mean, to me, I covered the Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, RFK Jr. being blackmailed by Rabbi Shmuley or some shit like that, or whatever the fuck their narrative was. I was like, yeah, you deserve to get wrecked for doing all of that and then walking away like, well, there's no smoking gun. All right, well, we'll come back in a couple of months and then just disappear, right? Just stop talking about it completely. So, yeah, I would have gripes too.
Then Candace hit him with the Bridget
With the what?
the Macron's wife scandal. Quote unquote scandal.
Macron's wife, yeah. Oh, she had
So
backup
that, it's
conduct.
like she escalates. So the outrageous thing she said in January won't be known because she has something else that's outrageous.
Exactly. But once again, like, that's a worthy question to ask Ian Carroll. It's just when it's attached to this sweaty fuck saying it, that's when I get weirded out. Where I'm like, yeah, who the fuck? Like, once again, I've done long, very long form videos listening to Michael Tracey talk about this topic. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I smell a pathology there somewhere for some reason. And maybe it was that portion where I paused it at in the beginning where he's talking about, oh, what are you, a journalist? Huh? Do you consider yourself a journalist? Huh? This isn't journalism. Like, it could be as simple as that, which would be like, yo, you have some underneath issues that you're not telling anyone and you're not telling yourself, apparently. I have to consider that. Like, this is like, the way you're going about it is very pathological looking, like an obsession. And what type of journalist says, you told an untruth and you lied about, RFK Jr. being blackmailed? Like, wouldn't the quote unquote journalist guy be like, well, we don't know, but this guy for sure doesn't have the answer, aka Ian Carroll, right? You'd go about that way, but Michael's coming out of his face against Ian Carroll, Candace Owens, Whitney Webb, anyone talking about Epstein, anyone. I mean, random commenters, random guys talking about stories on Twitter. He had fucking comments to them, or tries to do what do they call it? It's like Twitter Spaces with them to debunk them. Like, what crusade are you on, my man? Hey, where are you going?
Well, he's always seemed to be like very cerebral, kind of scientific reporting shit. But on this topic, it's 100. I wouldn't say 100%, but outwardly it looks 100% emotional.
Yeah.
Which is not him. That's not his MO. He's supposed to be the reserved, cool, calm, collected type.
Unless Maxine Waters touches him.
Yeah, well, unless Maxine Waters swags him out of the way.
Then he turns into an NBA player.
I don't want something to do with me. Obama hated.
This woman accosted me. You all saw it. You saw it. It's on camera right there. You saw it. She accosted me. Oh, fucking dweeb.
That's still more embarrassing than this.
All right, I thought I'd end on like a kind of comical note, aka Michael Tracey himself on this topic is bizarre, but I'll leave it there. Crazy shit. I think the craziest thing is definitely the Sound of Freedom with the picture of the jets flying overhead. Meanwhile, like he had to have found out, or someone had to have found out by then that the actual press conference was interrupted twice by very loud jets flying overhead. He calls it The Sound of Freedom, the movie about the fucking sex trafficking shit. That is like, holy fuck, you're speaking on levels on that one, my man. He's a fucking rapper at that point.
Wait, who's rapping?
You didn't see that part I went over?
Nah, you gotta play it.
No, I got to. You have to hear this. You have to hear this, Anthony. Like, follow my train of thought here. You have a victim talking,
This
right?
woman abused children.
You hear that?
Again?
So they flew jets. Jets were flying over their head, and like actually, it was so loud they had to stop talking for a bit, right? And that happened at least twice, maybe even 3 times, right? You see the picture so far?
That?
The Trump administration, they were Trump, and they were doing that. Now they said at the same time they had this thing right here where they're with the they're celebrating the loss of some sort of random Polish fighter pilot. Someone we don't know. They just random, right? And they do the same thing, right? You'll see that. Okay. Today, around the same time, jets are flying overhead. Right? Very loud.
Yeah.
Random. Now that could be coincidence, right? But I tied it to this thing right here, where I'm like, this came out hours after, and it says the sound of freedom overhead. Now, once again, think like a rapper, Anthony. This fool has these things going over their heads during their press conference. It actually cut them off several times, and he called it Sound of Freedom, and he says overhead. Now, Sound of Freedom is the movie with fucking Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, that's very good.
I'm just saying, am I reaching? Am I being conspiratorial there? Think about it, bro. Sound of Freedom above your heads, bro.
There's no way.
Yo, can you imagine? Can you imagine the goal? Oh my dear lord.
Well, yeah, I can. He's actively trying to silence any politicians that sign on the Massey's bill.
Yes, but it's like the movie was about sex trafficking, Anthony.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, like, if you want to get conspiratorial, it all seems to fit the narrative.
This is like
Look, listen, man.
Jay-Z subliminal.
Yeah, at the end of the day, man. At the end of the day, if you were a supporter of Trump and you thought he was going to help you with this cause, I mean,
or any
I don't
cause.
I don't wish. Yeah, or any cause. But it's like, bro, it's like he became, bro. They bestowed upon him this like virtue without him proving it. Actually, proving the opposite.
Yeah. And he has continuously chosen his wealth class over regular MAGA people. Over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. Like, you look at even where he showed off the painting, right? Or I think it was a painting of him where he has his fist in the air, fight, and his ears bleeding, right? People died that day. Not the shooter, but I mean, like, people in the crowd died, didn't they? But what did he do? He shows a picture of himself raising his fist. It's like, yo, someone else died. Like, wouldn't the good guy in the movie be like, yo, this is more importantly, like, yo, someone else died here. Fuck my little glory moment. Someone died. This is a tragic day,
Shit's
not
crazy.
a great day. Like it really just goes on whether or not he got shot and killed or got shot and lived. Like it's actually that egregious. Like on every level, you're getting
Yeah.
fucked, guys. And you don't. How do you not notice shit? Like simple ass things like that? I don't know. I would think like a mechanic would figure that shit out. Someone who's like savvy with things would like just pick that. Like, yo, this guy's full of shit, bro. We saw this guy talking at the
Them's the
bar.
worst.
Full of shit.
Them's the worst, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, up until recently, were people calling Trump like, yeah, he's full of shit, but you know what? Democrats suck more. At least I'll have maybe lower taxes or some shit like that, right? There's some people like that for sure, but like this thing was a
That's
fucking cultural phenomenon, right?
yeah. Well, I'm saying that's where they're starting to get to now. Where you gonna go? Them's the worst. That's all they got now. Because you don't got no fucking achievements.
Yeah.
Not any ones you want to ride home about. You want a trip to El Salvador? He'll get you one of those. A one-way trip to El Salvador.
I mean,
Keep yapping about Trump. He'll send you. He'll give you that vacation.
oh, they've been picking up more and more Americans every day. More
Keep
and more
yapping, bro.
Americans that look a certain way, and more of them getting picked up.
Can't wait till they start picking the ones that say things about a certain country that starts with an I. That's gonna be tragic. You think the other ones are tragic? This is, oh man.
Oh, I mean,
Imagine getting sent to El Salvador with people you voted Trump to get out of the country.
I mean, I don't know if that's happening. I don't know about that.
No, but I'm saying, like, how far are we from that?
Actually, not too far away, but I would say where they're at now, what they're floating in right now is the idea of like, okay, listen, we're going to use this special technology to search your social media feeds to find you being anti-Semitic, and then we're going to tell your bosses or your students or your clients or some yeah, now you see what's okay, guys. Now you get it. When it was those guys over there getting in trouble, you were fucking silent, weren't you? They said, yeah, look, this is what I voted for. Now look what's happening.
They always come for the worst. They always come for the easy targets. Then they come for everyone else.
Actually, I think it's the opposite, Anthony. See, these dummies that are just, yeah, Trump, they're the easy targets because they're not looking for it at all. Thus,
Well, you know what I mean.
Oh, we can
in
wait
their
to get
eyes.
those guys. We'll take them down later. We can wait for them.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. You fall for the dehumanization of sex, and then you see that those same tactics are used against you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, holy fuck. Like the whole Alex Jones shit.
Exactly.
Oh, let's censor Alex Jones. Let's censor neo Nazis, and then next thing you know, you're getting censored, and you ain't say anything they said.
Exactly.
In actuality, what you say is way more potent than what they're saying. They're saying nonsense. Shit you're saying is like, oh, you're asking questions, and then you realize, if you ask these questions, you get sent to the shadow realm. It's like, holy fuck.
Don't worry, Anthony.
Stop it today.
Don't worry, they'll pass these problems down to their children, unfortunately. But okay, let's end this
It's
video.
like, yeah.
No, good. That's
no, my bad. It's just like, the Biden administration is censoring anybody talking about COVID or whatever negatively, and then like, this guy is literally sending you to a fucking black hole if you say shit about Israel. If you say something about him, it's like, is that better? I'm not saying the other one's good. I'm saying I'm good with the other one. I'm just saying, like, different shades.
That Grok story where Grok got banned on.
Yeah, Grok got banned. Called it a genocide.
On its own platform, Grok got banned for saying the wrong shit, bro. You don't think there's people we never heard of getting the same treatment? You bet your ass. Bet your ass.
Actually, Grok got off easy compared to other actual human beings.
Yeah, true. But all right. There's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment. Agree. Disagree. Is my conspiracy theory correct, bro? This dude fucking is he rapping out here? What's going on? Dropping subliminals. You tell me. And I am saying it's him. It's the administration, right? He doesn't run these accounts, bro. He has assistants that do it for him. Let's be honest.
You cultivate an environment where, you know, they want to get on the good side. They want to like, yeah, man, this if I do this, Trump will like this, or someone close to Trump will like this. So he doesn't have to say it. You know he likes it if you do it, or you think he will based on his prior actions.
I'm getting kids off the street to write for my Twitter account. You sit down. Sit down. I can't get over the Shane Gillis impression, bro. That's one of the funniest jokes I've ever heard in my life, bro. Oh my dear Lord.
Yeah.
You're gay. Sit
You're
down.
gay.
Sit down. Oh shit. All right, leave your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to check out the links in the description box, whether it's donations for charities or the Discord if you want to talk some shit, argue with people, get destroyed. You know, watch movies, listen to music. Please do it all in my brand new Discord. All links in the description box. And with all that said, please give this video a thumbs down.